Hey guys, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Oh, did I never plug this? Wait a second. Hey guys, I think that should work. Can you hear me? I don't know if there's any sound. Oh, audio is fine. Can you still hear me? I just turned on this mic. I can't hear a thing. Okay, that's good. Hey guys, welcome back to a live stream. I've got my camera there and the computer here, so if you see me looking down, that is why. So yeah, it's it's our 4th anniversary for this YouTube channel. Today is exactly 4 years since I posted my very first video. So it's been pretty crazy. I didn't even know that today. I mean, I have it saved somewhere, but it basically, I saw the date and I was like, wait, today's the anniversary. So basically it's been kind of crazy. I wanted to make something special, but I haven't really had the chance. I want to record a whole video about all the things that have happened in these 4 years and all that we've managed to, build. And when I include, I say we've, it's because this channel wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys watching. And I know probably a lot of people say that, but honestly, everything that's happened has happened thanks to YouTube, and YouTube is, monetized, or Patreons, and that's enabled me to do what I'm doing. And I'm pointing around because I'm in my studio. So this studio basically happens thanks to you guys watching my videos and supporting my content. So thank you so much. There's actually 2 studios. I'm sure you guys have seen that there's the news studio. That is not here. That is at my normal day job, which I don't know if anyone knows, but I have a full-time day job, which I start at 6 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. And then after that, I do this. So I'm seeing all of you guys saying thank you. I just want to give a little intro. So yeah, this is thanks to you guys. So yeah, 4 years, it's crazy. I never thought it would become something I would do full-time every other moment I have. And I don't do this full-time as a living, but I do this full-time every time that I'm not with family or working. So it's been really fun. I really enjoy it. There's tons of new projects coming. Now it's not just me. You guys see me, but I have a small team of 1 more person, which should be here, but they don't want to appear in the videos, at least not for now. And that is my editor, who's been helping me tremendously. If you've seen an upgrade in consistency in videos and quality in videos, it's thanks to him. So that happened also thanks to you guys, because he gets paid, a small amount for now because he's helping me every now and then. But I hope to be able to pay him a full-time job, and he works with me to create this channel. So thanks to him, and thanks for you guys to keep on watching. So yeah, it's been crazy. In the last month, just so you can understand, month and a bit since he started, we've doubled all our stats. And I'm not a stat guy. I don't really care about subscribers. I don't really care about how many people watch today or tomorrow's video. I do what I think is fun, but it's pretty cool to see that it's doubled. So if anyone's ever thinking of doing more, I highly recommend you get a team member. It's way more important than making more income yourself. So that's pretty cool. Let me read a couple comments. It's been great so far. Thank you, Kelvin. Lud, I thought I popped by. Can't listen, but work. Carlos, congratulations. Thank you, Carlos. Buenos días, Nico. Felicidades aniversario. Yeah, thank you, guys. You got pretty lips. How many studios do I aim for? That's a funny question. I just was shooting some peel apart film. I took some portraits. This is the Mamiya RZ with a Polaroid back. I took some portraits of my kid for her school. How many studios? So like, this is my studio. My first time I have a proper space for myself. and it's for myself, but it's basically to create content. I have this backdrop where I shoot pictures, I shoot videos, and then I've got the scanner, darkroom. You guys seen it. If someone wants to see an updated studio tour, let me know. I can make something like that. Maybe clean it up a little, taking advantage of that. But I do want to aim for a bigger studio. In the same place I am, there's one studio that's 4 times bigger than mine. So I really want to aim for that. And I want to try to get that one day and be able to have a proper classroom to teach and a proper darkroom, much bigger than what I have now, and have a photography studio permanently set up in a video studio and podcast studio. So that would be hopefully my next studio. That's what I'm aiming for one big studio. But yeah, it's been really good. 4 years. I want to show you some stats. I don't know if I can show and share, screen share stats, but probably going to totally kill the bandwidth. I'm using my cell phone because I still haven't put proper internet in the studio, which I should probably. But yeah, my stats for, I can't really look it up. How would I say? Can't remember right now. What was I saying? 450 videos have been uploaded. So if you're curious to know why so many, and there's way more coming, I have like easily 10 to 12 videos right now that are in the pipeline that are finishing some way or another. Why do I have so many, and why? Because I just want to share more, and I want to make a library of certain subjects. So like the film loading videos series is a video series that I know people that are subscribed maybe don't watch, but I do know it's a resource for a lot of people that are not subscribed and maybe will never subscribe. But I want to do those videos and reviews and stuff that maybe people find helpful when they're choosing film gear and starting. I've actually found a couple of people throughout the years that have learned how to load cameras thanks to my videos. They didn't know who I was. And later down the road, they've met me in person and being like, hey, you're the guy that did that video. I learned how to shoot film because I learned how to load it that day with you. So that's been super cool. But there's a lot more stuff coming. Thanks, Ian. The news is something that's become the identity. So like, I don't know if anyone's ever heard, but the news never was meant to be the full channel, but it's been my most consistent series every week. News. It's come to the point that brands are like writing me. For example, I have this box of Ilford paper that Ilford send very generously to me for the news and stuff. I still have to make my video on the paper, but after seeing Lina's Besanoa's video, I will do my different approach because she made a very thorough review of it, and I might just have fun with it and print with it. Yeah, like Asriel said, the great thing about the news is it writes itself. Yeah, the news do write themselves, but the news require a permanent attention that's kind of tiring sometimes because I spend not all day, but I spend a lot of time a day looking through other websites and other things to check if something's coming out. Of course, everyone's going to hear when Acros 2 is announced or when Ektachrome 120 comes out or anything like that. But I try to find those other news that are not published anywhere else and have them have the same amount of importance as the others. So that's what I want to do with the news. That's funny because I really never thought the news would be the thing, but I'm very proud of it. Recently, I've had Kodak reach out, and I don't know what they want to say because they've taken a couple days to write an email. But it's exciting. It's very exciting to get brands to write me. And I'm just as excited as Kodak writing me as Negative Supply, which I had a Skype interview yesterday. Like all the brands, I'm super pumped. I'm trying to talk to Stearman Press to do some work together. Like I want to collaborate and find people. I want to join brands that maybe are not or don't have the time or resources to do social media and YouTube videos. And me, where I have this, studio set up and know-how and an editor to make videos to help them show it to customers, because I feel people that watch the videos trust what I say. I'm not trying to say that this paper is better than any other because they paid me, because they don't. So far, nobody's paid me to say this or that, and I don't think that will ever happen. My agreements usually come more like I'll feature your stuff. If you want to send me a box or 2 boxes or some film, it's fine. So far it's been really good. I can't complain. Alex. I'm going to call you Alex because your name is really hard. It seems the news is the only videos you script, no real script, but a bullet on a page. Yeah, the news is the only one. I basically have the name of the product. And as I've read it the day before the news, I just write through it. Excuse me. So yeah, the news are all kind of live. I used to take forever to write them and forever to edit them and forever to speech them and talk them out loud. Now they're one take, and I maybe sometimes have a mistake at the beginning and maybe make a mistake somehow in the middle, but it's very rare that I cut the news more than once nowadays. So it's all consistent. And someone told me, I don't like how you cut from one news to the other, leave a little space. So now I just make it like I read the next news and I say it. I give myself like a second and a half because I thought that maybe people didn't want to listen to that second and a half of silence. But now I leave it all in. Roger says, so the review of the Stearman 8x10 would be nice. Yeah, that's something I'm aiming for. I want to do that. I shoot a lot of 8x10 and I develop it with at least one system right now. I do have another system that I should be trying already. And the Stearman press would be cool. And I've never done trade developing, so I'm pretty excited about that. Macevedo, tu canal es el único canal del equipo. Actividades, gran trabajo, muchos éxitos. Saludos desde El Salvador. Saludos desde España. If anyone doesn't know, I'm Spanish. So people in Spain or anywhere that speaks Spanish, like El Salvador, are more than welcome to write me. I am launching a new Spanish network for YouTube and stuff, but that will be a 2020 thing, and I will be announcing that somehow, somewhere. So those Spanish speakers can watch that. Maybe they'll be excited to see some Spanish. Hello from Toronto. Good. Certain exposures. What's your favorite non-photography video YouTube channel? What pro model would you shoot 8x10 slide if you could free? If I could for free models, I don't know. I grew up in the 80s, 90s. I would love to shoot some of those 90s models, top models, like the old stuff. The old stuff. They're older right now. But like to me, people like Claudia Schiffer or Cindy Crawford, like those models were what I grew up with, looking at magazines and stuff like that. So those would be really cool. I watch like people's work, like Herb Britz. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he shot black and white Mamiya RZ all the time. His work is stunning. So any of that, like I would love to shoot models that are not so much models today, but maybe they are older models. Because I think there's a beauty to those, women that are not so much children, because some of these models are 16, 17, 18. And I would love to shoot them. And I'm also 37, so I'd rather shoot someone that's either my age or around my age, because I feel it's more of a connection. And plus, I'm not looking for that beauty of a 20-year-old model. I'm looking for like someone with more character. And I would probably shoot 8x10 portraits, something like that. And it would be pretty cool if I could. And what's my favorite non-photography video YouTube channel? Oh, that's a hard one. I do watch some photography. I get pretty burned out for photography. But I don't know. I can't tell you right now. Probably MKBHD. I'm super into tech. I don't know if people know that. I really follow the tendency on what digital cameras are out and what things are coming out and phones and computers and tablets and all that, just because I like it. Always have. So I do love his production. Like his video production is something to aim if I even would ever be close to doing like a 1% of what he does. But he's pretty cool. Emma thinks 27. Hi, Ezequiel. Nice to see you, Marco. Marco here is Analog Things. For those who don't know, he's probably undercover right now. And we're live streaming thanks to him, because he sent me a little cam link, Elgato cam link thing. So thanks, Marco. One of the things that I have to also say thank you and appreciate is all the other content creators or YouTubers, whatever you guys want to call yourselves, that have helped me and encouraged me and talked to me and shared ideas, monetization, like things like that. Like one thing that people don't understand is, who do you really talk to about, hey, how much money are you making on YouTube? Or are you making any money? Or how would you do your ads? Like, how much does this sponsor pay? Or like, nobody talks about that. So everyone that's talked to me about that stuff is being really helpful. And Marco from Analog Things is a good friend. We met in person at Photokina, even though he got, how do you say, he got called and recognized, and we cut our conversation in half because he was, you know, celebrity there. Asriel, we had our interview and we talk all the time. Many people. I met George from Negative Feedback in person, and it was really fun in London. So like I've met so many others doing stuff, and Wasted Film, Tim Hubick, which I know is kind of like focusing on photography right now, but he was a great help too at the beginning. So yeah, all of those guys are out there, extremely nice and generous. Joey, Roger from Shoot Film Like a Boss, all those people are awesome. Yeah, I am a tech nerd stuff. I heard Mamiya 7s aren't great for portraits. What's your opinion? Sorry, I still have a bit of a cold. So Mamiya 7s, being rangefinders, have a problem, which is minimum focus is usually not great. So on the 80 millimeter, I think it's 1 meter. I think the 65 is probably close to. And the 150, which you would think, hey, double the focal length, it's like 2 meters, like 13 feet. So portraiture. And then the other thing is you're not watching through the lens. So you're seeing the little rangefinder window. So it's really hard to accurately accurately frame and know exactly what's in it. I rather use something like the Mamiya RZ, and I know it's in trend right now, and I have like 3 of them somewhere here, but they are the best at what they do, which is portraiture to me. So the Mamiya 7 is not bad. It's probably the best and sharpest medium format camera out there. The glass is stunning, but portraiture especially, it's more for like ambient portraiture or urban portraiture or environmental portraiture, whatever it's called. Like you think about the, you know, Alex Soft kind of portraiture where the guy's just kind of like in his environment. That stuff, best of the best. But if you want to get up close for faces and stuff, you can't beat bellows, you know, like this just has bellows, which I don't know if you guys can see, but they just keep on coming out. It's pretty awesome. Let me see. Should we go to the next photo key now? I really hope I'm at the next photo key now. I want to probably work hand in hand with Camera Rescue. And I probably should mention that Camera Rescue and Camera Store have been one of the biggest supports for this channel. So this video is not sponsored by them. They sponsor the channel in general, but so yes, they would be sponsoring, but they don't tell me what to say. They don't tell me when I have to say. They just sponsor and help me. They just are supporting what I do, and I support what they do. I've met them in person. They're like family to me. We've been in a sauna together. We've been in a lake together, frozen lake. So like those guys are an amazing team. If you ever have any doubts and you want to buy some gear from them, you won't regret it. I buy all my stuff from them basically nowadays. So yeah, those guys are awesome. Roger says, totally off topic. Does anyone make a lightweight black and white paper still? I'd like one that I could do prints to stick in a notebook. Ilford. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know what's the thick, like the least thick. I'm sure there's somehow you can like peel the back of RC paper somehow, or maybe fiber. The fiber paper in the back, you can probably just kind of like in the wet, kind of like grind the back to make it super thin. Roger, ever considered liquid light? I've never used that. I've read it once. Saludos desde Mexico. Saludos desde España. Jasper, what do you think about the Plaubo Machina versus Mamiya 7? That's a good question. I've only used the Plaubo Machina like once, and I think I only shot one shot in a friend's camera. I've had them in my hand a lot. They're heavier than they feel, like they look. There's a couple problems with the Plaubo. One is the light meter cable breaks all the time if you don't focus on infinity, close the camera down, blah, blah, blah. Second problem you have with the Plaubo Machina is it's mechanic, so no batteries, I think, works. It's only for the light meter. So that's a plus because the Mamiya has electronics. You can't change the lens, so that's a problem if you're one that likes all the lenses around. But apart from that, it's a great camera. It is limited to the least focus, you know, so the same thing, like minimum focus is not that big, or they're not that small. So I honestly don't know. If you need something foldable that fits in your pocket, I would consider the Fuji GF670. That's the best camera I've held in my hands in that regard. It feels good. The lens is sharp. You can do 6x6 or 6x7. It's modern. The light meter works pretty great. I'm sure that it's electronic, so also if it fails, just like the Mamiya. But those three are pretty much tied up there. It's just more a matter of preference. The Mamiya has gone up in price to a point that it's surpassed the Plowbell, which I never thought I would see. So it could be a matter of budget and a matter of if you want to change lenses. But to me, those three, the Fuji, the Mamiya, and the Plowbell are great cameras. Just pick one and you'll be happy with any of them. Just, don't overpay. I mean, I'm not saying it's overpaying buying a Mamiya as they're selling for $4,000, but you can buy something different. And actually one of those cameras that I want to talk about, and it's probably never been shown on the channel, is the Fuji Texas Leica. And this is a 6x8 version. This camera in the 6x7 version is just as big because they're all the same, 6.9, 6.8, 6.7. But it's really good. It has a fixed lens, but they sold it in two versions, wide and normal. This is a 90 3.5, and the wide was a 65 3.5, if I'm not wrong, maybe f4. But those are really good cameras, and they're sold inexpensively compared to their other competitors in the medium format 6.7, 6.9. Azrael, Roger, neither have I, but I've understood that you paint with it whatever you want. Saw someone doing a maple leaf the other day. Yeah, I saw that maple leaf. That's pretty cool. What Polaroid back from my photos would you like as a birthday present? Pack? Marco's offering me stuff. I would love black and white peel apart. It can be the 3000 FB. It can be the 667, if I'm not wrong, is black and white. Like black and white peel apart film is something I really miss, and I should have bought a lot more back in the day. I'm picking up a Polaroid 180 or 195, I'm not sure, from a friend, not buying it, for the remaining 3 shots of one instant. So if that's not too much asking, Marco, I'd be happy to take one of those packs from you. And thank you very much. No stop, Nico. Don't raise the prices. I might have to be trying that. Really want a Wilux 1500. Yeah, I have the Horizon 24. It's the Russian version of the Wilux 1500. It's pretty cool. It has the perspective control. Pasquale also has a great channel, guys. You should check it out. He started in Italian, which I was actually learning Italian to watch his videos, and then he changed to English, so made it a little easier for everyone. Cheers from Italy. Cheers from Spain. Pasquale, which I think he did something with what's his name? Eduardo Pavez from Chile that lives in New York. So that would be pretty cool to see if you do that. I might be spoiling something here. Devonell says, hi, thank you for your videos. I own a little Contax 139Q plus 28, and I love it. I also own an RB67, much bigger, but a great camera. I would love to try a Bessa R4, but it's hard to find. Yeah, the rangefinder Bessas are becoming pretty rare to find. Some of them are really hard, but you'll enjoy it. I mean, rangefinder photography is pretty different, but it can also be super fun. I never thought I would shoot rangefinder 35, and I really enjoy them. Kelvin says, Fuji 690 has a beautiful lens, but the shutter release is so loud. Yeah, it is so loud. If someone wants to hear, I don't know if it'll let me shoot. I don't know if I can shoot right now. I don't know. But yeah, it's super, super loud. Let me see if it'll shoot when it's open. Yeah. Let's see if you guys can hear that. It doesn't make a lot of noise. The Mamiya 7 makes very little noise, and the Mamiya 6 too. I enjoy those. I've had those 2 cameras and sold them after the years, but they're super fun cameras. Marco says, I'll send you some. Thank you, Marco. I can't say no to that, and thank you so much. Dimitri says he still has a box or 2 of the FP3000. The FP3000 was really fun and really good. I really miss that stuff. That's probably the only reason, like, new 55 in the black and white is just gorgeous, and I can't wait to get some. It's just I live in Spain, so shipping it here and customs is horrible. So I'm trying to get my hands on some. And now they have that PN 400, so it's ISO 400 black and white peel apart. Sounds really good. Sam says, websites you recommend sourcing film in Europe. To me, the best one is Photo Impex, not only because it has a ton of stuff, because it also funds Adox, and Adox is doing all the right things in the industry to me. But there's other couple big ones. AG Photographic in the UK, which won't be Europe very soon, is great. And the owner is super nice and gets back in a second, and it's really, really easy. But yeah, mostly Ars Imago I've never bought from, but Ezequiel here's lived in Italy and can say they're good, and he's a good friend of mine too, so you can trust him. Dimitri says, are any of those still available for not crazy price? The white looks I see on eBay are $2 to $3 grand. So the white looks 1,500. Oh man, thank you, Migna. Hi Nico, glad to see you here. He's one of my Patreons, so thank you for also donating there. I was gonna go. Oh wait, I missed something. Oh, the white looks 1,500. The white looks 1,500. Camera Store had one for the longest time for like 1,200 euros, and it never sold. And then I think it went down to 900 euros, and it finally sold. And it might be wrong on the price, but it was not $2 to $3 grand. So I highly suggest just keeping an eye out. Facebook groups, even though I don't like Facebook at all as a platform for photography, has become the source for a lot of gear. So you want to check that out. You can also put a feeler of like, I'm looking for one, but I never do that because I never have the enough cash to buy something. I'm better at paying off stuff than saving and buying. So that's how I usually do it. Laurent says, bon dia, Dandora. Bon dia, Laurent, which I think I have something I got to ship to you. So it's packed up there. I'm sending it on Saturday. I'm sorry, it's just been really busy and sick. Rogers, such painful memories lugging an RB67 around Turkey on holidays with my girlfriends 30 years ago. I should have been paying her more attention. Can never look at the RB without feeling the pain. I've taken this camera, actually doesn't live on a strap. This camera I never used with a strap, and still I really enjoy it. It's a bit of a beast, but honestly, it doesn't get much better than this to me for shooting. But it's, I mean, it's big, it's bulky, and when you put the back, it's even bigger. But yeah, this, I've gone up and down with this camera without a strap many times, but it's worth it. When you see the results and you print them or you scan them, it's totally worth it. Sorry if I'm setting up a small museum here. Let me see. Just got an M2. Whoa, you guys are going too fast for me. Josh, I can't say your names. I'm sorry, guys. Just got an M2. Do you have any flash that you would recommend to use? I really enjoyed the Rollei. I think it's like the 128 BC and the 121 BC. There are these Rollei Flex, but they just say Rollei. Little flashes because they have the manual turnaround. And I know TTL is all the thing and it's what everyone uses. And Joe McNally will say that TTL is the best thing ever. I don't truly understand TTL, or maybe it doesn't understand me. I like seeing a little depth of field scale and putting it where I want and shooting. I've shot weddings, not as a wedding photographer, but as a guest with the M2 and that flash. And I just set like, okay, F16, and I just know it's going to be like 2 meters. Everyone's going to be properly exposed. So I walk around, and every time everyone's at 2 meters, boom, I flash them. That flash is awesome, small, and it takes double A's. But you need the PC adapter to the little back socket, which are pretty hard to find nowadays. But I love that. Marco, FP3000 was awesome, and I didn't have money at the time to buy some. Yeah, I had one box of FP100, 3000, sorry. Colin says, how long do you wash your resin-coated black and white prints for? Resin-coated prints, I mean, it's plastic, basically. So you can wash them for like 5 minutes and you're good. So I usually give them a good 5 to 10 minutes maximum in a low running water, kind of like I usually use another tray. So I have a tray for developer, a tray for stop, a tray for fix, and a tray for wash. And if I'm doing fiber base, then I wash on my proper archival washer. So I give it like 10 minutes in there. So 10 minutes there, washing, blah. in the tray is fine with that. Like 5 minutes is good. And then the best part is you can squeegee it and dry it in a second. Carmatic says, congratulations, Nico. Your YouTube channel is such a great resource for me in the last few years. Keep up the good work, and the analog photography community will really appreciate your work. Thank you, Carmatic. 4 years, which is pretty impressive. I never thought it would be this long. Alberto, congrats. Are those for the Fuji 6 by any comparable in quality with the lenses of the Pentax 6 by 7? Oh, sorry, I lost my trend of reading. On the lens of 6 by 7 or Mamiya 7, the Fuji glass, if you've never shot Fuji glass in the, how would you say, Fuji glass in film, so the Fuji 645 lenses, the Fuji Texas lenses, the Fuji GX lenses, the 680, the Fuji 667 or 670, 667 was the Voigtlander. All the glass that Fuji's made, even the large format, is really good, really sharp, really contrasty, nice and sharp. Like everything's perfect. To me, is it comparable to Pentax 6 by 7 Mamiya 7? Mamiya 7 is the winner for sharpness, that's for sure. But this camera does not let you down. Like you can use Flickr. Like Flickr is still the best resource to look for cameras and gear and sharpness and stuff. If you can't buy a print, which is another great way, and I'll be doing some more prints very soon for that kind of stuff, for people to see actually. And the idea of the prints is to sell them at a low price that people can just buy them and have them somewhere. I'm not trying to sell prints for $1,000. It's not my idea of photography. So yeah, these lenses are extremely nice and sharp. So no way this is worse than a Pentax 6 by 7. Mamiya 7, I could say it's a little better. But to me, Mamiya 7 glass was actually so good that I did not enjoy it because I would print small prints and they looked so good that they had no character to them. They were just clinical. They're like just perfect. So I didn't like them. So that's why I sold Mamiya 7. Let me see. Pedro's here. Hello, Nicholas, to the live stream again, and congratulations on the 4th year. Thank you, Pedro. Kelvin was, what are your thoughts about eBay sellers gouging cameras and film prices? eBay's turned into a bit of a business too much for photography. When I got into film, there was a lot of studios and people selling, you know, customer to customer, final user to final user. The whole eBay professionalism is good for not having a lot of issues because most people are selling professionally will, you know, respond professionally to issues. But at the same time, it's kind of taking that fun of bidding for cameras that were, you know, cheaper than you could get them. Like I got this Pentax, like Mamiya RZ body for, I think it was 180, no, less than that, probably 180 euros. And that was from someone just on a bid. I miss the bidding wars on eBay. I don't like to buy it now. Usually they're overpriced. Yes, sometimes you can do best offer and stuff, but I mid the bidding wars. It was fun. And you bought way more stuff. I actually bought something by accident the other day on a bid war. I was bidding. I don't like seeing low bids, so sometimes I just bid for silliness. Like I see something too cheap and I'll bid a little higher just to be like, you know what, that shouldn't sell for so cheap, which is not good maybe. And I got the message later that I won the item. So there's a Canon 1N coming my way for pretty inexpensive. So I'll test it out and then probably maybe sell it. But yeah. I recently bought a Mamiya 7 II. What affordable flashes do you recommend? The Mamiya 7 II flash, it is an electronic camera, so be aware of those flashes that will trigger electricity through the hot shoe. I've never really learned a lot about that, but I know that can be an issue. I've used the Mamiya 7 II with the same flash that I told the other guy, which was the Rollei 128 or 121. And it worked fine. It's pretty strong, but you can also get that Metz. And I'm talking about that Metz flash that I think George from Negative Feedback make a video of, like my favorite flash, that Metz 45 CT or something like that. I might be making a mistake there. That flash is really good, so you want to check it out. I'm curious to know why you sold your Mamiya 7. This camera seems to gain value every day. Like I said, I bought a Mamiya 7 II back in the day for 1,000 euros. I had it for a bunch of time. I didn't use it that much because I wasn't into 6x7. I was shooting some other stuff. And that one I sold just because it was like good money, and I sold it. I didn't make a lot of money out of it. I did maybe, I think I sold it for 1,200. So I did make some money. Plus I used it. It was my honeymoon camera with a couple others. But then I had a Mamiya 6. I missed the 7. So I made an exchange with a photographer that became a friend after. Every time I sell something, I make a friend, which is also the cool thing about selling and buying from person to person and not companies. But, you know, it's a different thing. So yeah, the second time I was printing a lot. And when I printed 35, I liked the texture, I liked the grain, I liked the feel of black and white. And then I printed a 6x7 shot on 8x10 paper or 11x14 of my kids. And I was like, this looks so like perfect and clinical that I don't like it. It didn't have a little bit of that grit that I like about 35 black and white prints. It was just so clean. And don't get me wrong, it's impressively good. But it was so good that it wasn't, you know, meant for me. It was too good for what I expected. Like, I didn't want that to be perfect. It's, I don't know, I compare it to photography and digital world or whatever. It's like if you shoot, you know, like I have a Sony A7S II or whatever, and I've taken a couple pictures. That sensor gives a different render. It's a bit more organic than when I shoot with a medium format digital back. It's just like perfect. So to me, that has always been like, if I was going to shoot digital, I would rather shoot something that feels more organic than perfect. And the Mamiya 7 was just too clean, too sharp, and I didn't want it. So I sold it. Now I want it again. A third time is not going to happen. The Science of Photography, first of all, thank you for your donation. I haven't seen a video from you in a very long time. Next time you're in the States, we should do a Grand Canyon trip. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen. I really want it to happen, but I'm planning a road trip through the US next summer. And my idea is to be around that area at some point, but I'm going to be flying through everywhere I go. So anyone that wants to do a meetup, or someone told me, why don't you do workshops while you're on your trip? So I might do workshops in certain cities to help fund the trip. But yeah, Grand Canyon, I've been there once in my life and I really want to go again. And driving through it is amazing. I still remember it, and I was 14. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Roger says, back in the day, I used the RC dry to dry machine that took under 3 minutes. The top Ilford machines would do 90 seconds the whole process. So washing RC prints is really not a hassle. Yeah, you just basically, you spit on top of RC paper and it's clean. Like, there's just plastic, which is the beauty and also the non-beauty of it. Hi from Estonia, Fox. Hi from Spain. I want to ask, have you seen this page of steamit.com? I have not seen that. I don't know if I should. I'll save that for later. I actually wanted to bring a pen and I never brought it out. I haven't seen that. Nico just made me cry. Why you cry? Big devil. 180 euros for an RZ. I paid that last month for groceries. If I told you how much I paid for groceries, you wouldn't be happy. No, and that $182, I bought an RZ body from KEH back in the day. It had no waist level finder. It was just the brain, no focusing screen, I think, either. But like 182 was like, I gotta buy that. Cheers from Germany, Sebastian. Cheers from Spain. Thanks for joining us. What is the best 35 up to 6x9 black and white and larger? I am based in Sweden. I mean, the best, don't get me wrong. Every time I hear the best of anything, best for me or it won't be the best for you. I think really good enlargers, not the best, but maybe really good enlargers are Devere or Devere. I don't know how you say that in English. It's an English brand that now is, I think they're made in China nowadays. They still make them, which is I'm surprised about that. Durst enlargers are really good. Omega enlargers are good. Bestseller enlargers is not bad either. Like LPL are really good. So all those are pretty good. Just find the one you can find in your location. And if you're in Sweden, it's not an easy thing to pick because I live in Spain. I know that it's not easy. The Estonian guys about website is spam. Okay, well, good thing I didn't click that. I guess someone did for me. What chemicals, woo, you guys are going way too fast. What chemicals do you choose for your black and white photography? Finished of my stainless steel monobath, and I want to switch to more normal developer stop and fix. So experiment and stand developer and all. Okay, so the ones I choose for my photography are, actually I had the bottle there, HC110 from Kodak. That syrup stuff is amazing, but it is a little contrasty. So if you don't like contrasty film negatives, you might want to go for something smoother. Kodak D76 is basically the developer that every other brand compares itself to. So if you're making a new developer, everyone's going to be like, so what's the difference compared to D76? And it'll be like more grain, less grain, more this, more that. So that's a really good one, and it's been around longer than any of us together. And then Rodinal is really good. If you want to do stand development, Rodinal is good, and there's like 6 different iterations. Actually, I'm getting RZ Mago to send me their iteration of Rodinal soon to try it out. But Rodinal and HC110 do really good stand development. Let me see. Yep. And the other day I saw on eBay Contax T2 and T3 for 2,000 and 1,500. Do you think can some brands start to make new film cameras or not at all? Pedro, that's actually a video I've been working on. Well, I've been thinking about, not working on. I just read someone else's, sorry. I think prices for cameras should keep on going up in a certain way because there's still great deals out there. But I hope that the prices will reach a point that people will turn their heads, some brands or some investors, and say, why are we not doing one of those? And the know-how has to be somewhere. So I really hope to see some sort of point and shoot. And I was talking to someone the other day, like if I saw an XA2, the Olympus XA2 with no rangefinder, just a 3-click zone focus made today with quality glass and like auto exposure and stuff, I would totally support that. Like, I think it would be super fun. Instead of buying secondhand stuff and whatnot, I would love to buy something like that. And I do know Lomography makes stuff like the LCA and the LC and all this, but like something that wouldn't be meant to be so much of, you know, Lomography mentality. Like, I know Lomography does quality products. Sometimes some other stuff where it's different. It's a different approach to photography, but I would love to see something like that at some point. Let me see. Gotta go up. Okay. Sebastian says, I'm getting the old darkroom supplies from a friend of my father, includes a Polish enlarger. Any tips for any good tutorial to start printing? I'm sure Roger from Shoot Film Like a Boss has some good darkroom videos. And I'm going to start a new darkroom series, which I haven't announced yet. But as soon as I can announce it, I will let you guys know. And that will be a way for lots of people to learn. But tutorials, I would say the best thing for darkroom is books. There's a couple of books that are amazing. The Ansel Adams trilogy, everyone says they're amazing. You can buy those. You know, there's a couple of darkroom books that are really good. I can't really think of one out loud right now, but there's a couple, and they're always sold for like $1.50 on Amazon. So you can buy those cheap, and they're great. Colin says, are there any uses for expired RC paper? It's going to be much black with the only faint image once developed. Yeah, Colin, you can use old RC paper or fiber-based paper, especially RC, to make it into to transport carbon prints. So if you've ever seen carbon transfer, like, you know, that carbon print, like the wet carbon, I can't say the name right now, but like that stuff, you need to put the glob on something, and then you got to transport it to something else and then put it back onto a paper. So that intermediate paper can be RC paper that you just fix. So throw in the fixer, bleach it out, and like keep it white, and then you just use it for that, for transporting your carbon transfer. So if you've never heard of carbon transfer, it's pretty darn amazing. It's pretty hard too, but you can use it for that. Rasmus says, hello from Denmark. Hello, Denmark. And thank you for being such a pillar in the film community and a great source of information. Thank you, Rasmus. And thank you for not giving me reasons not to buy a Mamiya 7. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't buy a Mamiya 7, but I found many reasons not to keep it. So I sold it. And I didn't sell it expensive the second time either. Roger says, I love Xtol. I actually sold mine for 1,300. I love Xtol, but it's a hassle to mix it a batch. I don't use Xtol, never used it. Lipowa says, how is it possible that you're fluent in Spanish and American English? So it's kind of a long story. I'll be very fast. My mother is British, but born from a Spanish grandfather. So my grandfather was from here, had to leave for war, bumped into another war, married an English woman, had a kid. My mom met my dad in Spain. They moved here. So I was born in a family where my mother was British, my father was Spanish, and we spoke both. So I was born speaking both. And then for the longest time, I didn't speak any English. I would just listen to my mom talking all the time to me, and I would answer in Spanish because teenagers. And after a while, I met an American woman and married her, and we talk in an English American. So my English is American because of that. My sister lived in England, so she's got English accent, and my brother lives in Wales, so he's got Wales accent, or Scott. I'm gonna make this wrong. Wales accent. So a Welsh accent. So it's pretty funny to see the three of us together. So that's why. Semi-stand development with Rodinal is all I do nowadays. Yeah, semi-stand Rodinal is pretty good. Alberto Garcia, could you tell me much difference there is in terms of color fidelity, sharpness in between developing color film in a professional lab and doing it at home with a Jobo processor? The biggest problem you're going to find with a Jobo processor is you can be really consistent with it. You have to be really picky with it. Is using developer, color chemistry, single shot. So the difference is labs are replenishing their chemistry all the time, and kits that you reuse all the time tend to slowly degrade. So using it single shot makes it really good. And then using a separate bleach and fix instead of Blix also helps. That's the biggest difference usually between labs and Jobos. I use a kit now that I use single shot 1 liter, and I dump everything, and it uses bleach and fix separately. It's a mix of Fuji, Hunt, Mini Lab, super fast developer, and black and white from Kodak, and then basically Blix from, I think it's Kodak or Fuji. I think it's Fuji. Yeah, Fuji, bleach and fix. Let me see. Mike, did you see the guy who bought his large format camera on the impeachment hearing USA? I thought that's cool. Yeah, David Burnett has been the Aero Ektar, basically, the guy that started it all. Like, he's the one that stuck Aero Ektar lens to a Graflex. He shot the Olympics. If you've never heard of him, Google him. He shot the Olympics. He shot the impeachment. He shot a bunch of stuff. He even has an interview somewhere where he shot like the 12 senators with 12 different shots on a Holga. So one roll had every senator on a Holga, which is super cool. He's a cool guy and a great photographer, so it's pretty fun. It's interesting how everyone catched that. I mean, it was pretty obvious on the video that I saw. I'm going to answer this even though it's not film. What do I think about the new Sony camera that has 61 megapixels? So I'm thinking of getting, I'm not going to buy it for myself, but I want to make a review of the new Sony a7R4 with a 61 megapixels and the 240 with the pixel shift, just to scan film. And I think it'd be pretty cool to scan film with 240 megapixels. So I think it's pretty cool. Honestly, do I need it? No, I don't, but it's going to be pretty cool. Hey, Nico. Nico Gonzalez is a Patreon, a great guy. Film photography, did you try the new Ilford paper? And can you tell me anything about Tetanol News? I haven't tried the Ilford paper. It's still here, still sealed. So not that. You can see the tape there, still sealed. And the Tetanol News, I'm going to say it's not going to be for everyone, but it's exciting news for the new generation. That's all I can say. Ambient says that was David Burnett, great photographer. Nico number 2. Yeah, we have a chat for all the Patreons, and there's 3 Nicos at the moment. Dang, I'm late. Hello, everyone. Hey, how? You're not late. I'm going to be online for another 20 minutes or so, so no worries. I'm going to do a special one. As anyone's missing this, the title says it, but it's the 4th birthday of the channel. Jonathan says, "Hi, Nico. Nice to catch up the live chat. First time I managed to chat in this at this time." Yeah, I missed the live chat. It's just things are getting super complicated family-wise to be able to commit to a time. But soon there'll be live chats in a very different environment, and I can't say exactly what, but you guys will be able to tune in for live streaming soon. What about the Ilford Ortho Plus? Do you think it's complicated to develop myself? By the way, did you try this very special film? I think the Ortho film is going to be the same developing. Actually, it could be even easier because you could develop by inspection with red light because it's not sensitive, or so I would think. I haven't read exactly all the details on the film. I haven't tried it yet. I didn't get any of it from Ilford. I'm trying to see if I can get some to try it out. Gillian says, "Hi, Nico. Love the chat with Ethan. I just bought a homunculus camera and I'm waiting for it. Have you ever tried to review 6x12 or 6x17 camera?" Sorry. Gillian, thanks for the compliment. Ethan's awesome. I really had a great time with him. And you should Google what the homunculus means because it's a pretty cool story. I've shot 6x9, 12, 17, and 24. I actually have a unit of the Malefic camera for 6x17, 612, 69. It's actually upstairs, and I've been waiting to get a review done. I'm just waiting to mount the lens and show how to do it and review. But the camera looks super consistent and super nice to be 3D printed, and I'm very excited to test it out. So I have tried, but I have not reviewed. I did make a sort of review of 6 different lenses on a Horseman. So if you Google on YouTube Horseman 6x12, there should be some sort of review from me shooting 6 different focal lengths with a 6x12 back. Mark Alexis says, "Congrats on the 4th birthday." Thank you. How many hours are there in a day? You have to see more than other people. Yeah, I wake up at 4 in the morning. I don't sleep a lot, so I do a lot. Sam says, "Interesting that you say the Tetanol news won't be for everyone. I'm hoping a price of chemical comes down a bit. Will you be?" The prices of chemicals is an issue. I've seen the new prices at Macro Direct, and they've gone up a lot. And I actually went back into my emails to see how much, and it's gone up. I think I'm horrible at math, but I paid a fourth of what they're asking for now. So they've gone up 100, 200, 400% in price in the last 7 years. And I understand there's reasons for certain increases in pricing, but like a 400 increase, like right now, it's coming to a point that doing your own developing with Tetanol chemistry is very close to the same price, and just in chemical price, not your time or a machine or anything, to what a lab will charge you, because labs, at least here in Spain, are around 3.5 euros, and Tetanol's chemistry is coming down to around 2.5 euros with shipping, and that's without counting it. You have to have a Jobo or something like that and do it yourself. So it's gonna start getting pretty complicated. Honestly, I'm very concerned because I know Tetanol needs business, but at the same time, we need to be able to justify using their products. And one of the reasons to use your own chemistry is control, but one of the big reasons is price. And if price goes out the window, I mean, you could only have like your own control and other stuff, but it's getting complicated. Do you have any opinion on the knowledge on the Rollei RPX 400 and all the back and forth being Kentamir, old stock, etc.? I do not have any knowledge of that. I do think Rollei coat their own film at the ACFA plant. If you don't know, ACFA still makes film. And yeah, ACFA went bankrupt, but if you go into Google and search ACFA, it's still making film. And their biggest orders are from the NATO or the NATO, so the government European army thingy. And I'm not as specialized in that. And Japan Camera Hunter, Rollei, and a couple others make their films there, if I'm not wrong. I think for sure Japan Camera Hunter, because it says made in Belgium and their factory is there. So I would assume. But I'm pretty sure that Rolly is their own film. I don't think Kentamir would be, sending film to that kind of stuff. It could be, but I don't think so. My university says they will stop buying chemicals for us due to the increase in price because it is not sustainable. Yeah, that's the problem with that. I mean, the Tatanol, I'm saying, I saw the other day, the 2.5 liter kit is now 89 euros. And it used to be for 5 liters, 52 euros. So you can make your own conclusions. I still support Tatanol with everything I can, but I mean, there's prices and prices. So we've moved away from Blix, so that's our main reason in the studio to change. And I say we because there's a couple of friends of mine that we use the lab. But yeah, Tatanol is outpricing themselves out of the market. We'll see, because the other people making chemicals, I wonder, they really make them themselves, or they're being supplied by Tatanol or not. So time will say. But right now you can buy a liter of Cinestill color developer for 1 liter for like 27 euros, and 1 liter of Tatanol is very close. Let me see. Ambient says, we need consumer 120 color film stocks, Nico. Portra and Fuji are expensive, and there are so many affordable medium format cameras available. I really miss Kodak Gold and Superior in 120. Yeah, I do remember the days of having Superior in 120. I never met one Kodak Gold in 120. I actually have a couple boxes here that are actually holding my microphone high, counterbalancing, but they're super expired. So I just use them as weight. That would be a funny thing, I guess. But yeah, I don't know if we'll ever see cheap entry-level medium format film. The cheapest and best I've seen so far is the lomography medium format film. Color is like a 30% cheaper than Portra, and it's pretty good, I have to say. When is the SWC giveaway? Nico, I'll give a giveaway of an SWC when I reach 100,000 subscribers. Okay, I said it. You can write it down, and I know you'll remember. You're French. But if I ever reach 100,000 subscribers, I'll do a giveaway like that. And I'm not into like numbers, but that should be easy enough to do if I reach that number. And it's obviously doable because there are a couple of channels out there that have that number. Roger says, I've decided to be monochrome man. Life is so much cheaper. Yeah, I mean, monochrome film is cheaper, but monochrome paper is not. Like, the paper I like that I use the most is fiber-based, and it's like 3 euros per shot. So that's really expensive. What's the big issue with Blix versus separate bleach and fix? Like, I would have to make a proper video on it, but basically, like, it'll give a different tone to your film to a certain extent. Like, and this is something I've heard from my partner here in the lab, is he says that film that's being developed in Blix doesn't look as contrasty as, or right to him, as the one that's being developed with bleach and fix. So supposedly that's what it is. There's a couple of forums, topics on it. One's on Photrio, or APUG, as it used to be called, and you can look it up. But I want to make a video. I just don't want to seem like I don't know about the subject enough, so I need to read and investigate a lot before I make a video like that. But I've moved on to bleach and fix, and I'm pretty happy. My color shots look fine, so I've been using that. Any other new films coming out? Well, I mean, new, as in brand new, never seen emotions. I don't know, but we are getting Ektachrome in medium format very soon, I'm sure. T3200, Tmax 3200 in medium format very soon. I'm pretty sure of that. And not that I know, okay, guys? I'm not trying to hide this. Ferrania P30 and probably a couple other Ferranias out there. I'm pretty sure about that. We're going to be getting Acros number 2. Pretty sure about that. Adox for sure is going to start doing 120 and 35, hopefully very soon, for them and for everyone. So like new as in brand new, never seen before, I don't know. But something new, I think there's quite a lot of film coming out. So based on what you've read or might know, will the new Acros 2 have the same reciprocity characteristics? everything I've read really hasn't been touting. I've never said that word. It is a feature they used. Yeah, that's a good question. I've read about a couple of things. Freestyle posted like a thing on the Acros 2 that was like official. It had a bunch of marketing words, but not one said exactly if it was going to be close to the old one. So I'm guessing if they're not mentioning it, maybe it won't be that good, because if it was going to be as good, you would mention it. It's a huge marketing strategy to say Acros 2 will have the same reciprocity failure. But knowing it's Fuji and the other color films they do also have a pretty good one, I would be sure that it'll be good. It'll be as good, I don't know, but good for sure. Also, did you see the Ferrari P30 production distribution testing from their Facebook post? Yeah, I actually reposted it, and then it became, well, I don't know if thanks to me, but I saw it reposted on a lot of other channels after I reposted it. So I don't know if that was the reason. But yeah, I did see it, and I actually wrote them to catch on how they're doing, and they wrote back, but I'd rather not say yet what they wrote back, but hopefully everything's doing well. I can say, well, actually I can say everything's going well, even though they're silent. What's your preferred black and white paper to print on? Love your weekly news. Keep it up. So far, my favorite has been Ilford Warm Tone Glossy. Yeah, the glossy one, the one with the pink sticker. And I'm trying to shift to Adox paper, but my main concern with Adox is that they usually don't stock a lot. So you might buy paper today, but there won't be any tomorrow. And that's kind of a problem because I do buy in bulk, but you know, it's kind of nice to know that I can buy my favorite paper at all times. But I am trying to do Adox for a lot of my stuff. I have shifted all my chemistry for paper to Adox to support them, because I think we should support a bit of everyone. So I shoot a lot of Ilford film because I like 400 speed and I push sometimes, but I'm trying to use Adox chemistry for paper and trying to use their paper too. And Photo MPEX and Adox and Mirko, the owner, have been really supportive too. So that's what I'm trying to do too. It's pretty hard to use everything. Camera repair in the States is becoming a rare thing. That's what Camera Rescue is trying to do, is make camera repair a good thing, like easy. Cuarto aniversario de mi cumple, enhorabuena. Bueno, felicidades y gracias. Nico, did you reserve your Acros? And felicidades for the birthday girl. I have not pre-ordered my Acros. I'm not one to rush into reviews and testing and trying to get the first clicky, clicks out there. First of all, I don't have much of the money to buy it right now, and Christmas is coming, and Christmas is always an expensive month, or December. And I still have the old Acros, so I will get some, but I'm not eager to buy it first thing when it gets, sold. And Kumar, which is one of the people selling it out there in Japan, he's a great guy, and I would buy it from him, but I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to wait till like January or something like that when the hype is down and I can buy a second batch or something. Mihnia said there is two chemicals, Blix and Fix. They don't really like each other. Blix will exhaust really fast, and Times needs to be Blixing with double each 4 developed films. Well, there's another reason. Did you ever try the Ilford SFX200 and the best filter to use with that film? I have not used it. Ilford did send me 2 rolls, so I should use it, but I haven't yet. Nico Casal says, it's nice you support Adox. I hope Adox could support you too. Warm tone review. Yeah, Nico has mentioned a couple times to Adox that I never got to test the poly warm tone. It's fine. I'm good with it. But I can't wait to test it out at some point. In film photography, we can't be a brand fan. We need to use stuff from everyone. I mean, if I had to say I was a brand fan in gear, I could say by far Mamiya is probably my top brand. Is that a brand fan? So I'm a Mamiya boy. I've owned a lot of them, the RZ, the 7, the 7.2. I've used the Mamiya 6. I've used the Mamiya, the Polaroid 600 SE, which was made with Mamiya. Like I find Mamiya, I have the C330, and actually let me pull it out. Oh, don't let me break something. I have this Mamiya C330. To me, Mamiya boy, a gift coming. To me, Mamiya had the best solutions out there. I mean, do think about this. This is a TLR in the world of Rolleiflexes and stuff like that, which I think are great, but every Rolleiflex I've owned has failed on me. Mamiya made something you can change the lens. I mean, how cool is it that you can have a camera that I'm trying to do this while watching the screen, that you can change the lens for? I mean, doesn't get much cooler than that. And I probably have to close the shutter in the back. I'm not going to do it. But yeah, the solutions they have, the fact that you can change the lens of the Mamiya 7 being a rangefinder camera, and there's like a little curtain that you roll, and like it's just amazing. Any Mamiya 35? No, never had Mamiya 35s, never tested them out. Do you have a link to the guy that's exporting from Japan? If you go to Facebook, write Kumar, and it's like his last name is really hard to say, but he's been posting about it. If you write Kumar, maybe you'll find a couple friends in common. But if not, write me on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll send you the link. I don't have the link right now here. Nico, straight up flexing up now. You are sitting on a mountain of cameras. How many are at your feet? A couple cameras. This is the table I have in my studio, which is where I usually keep all the gear. I have a Pentax 6x7, which I made a guide the other day. I have a Bronica Gs1, which I've had for a while, and I should be doing a review because there's not much information about them. This is a 6x7 camera that if you're into, they're a little dusty, some of them, that if you're into 6x7 cameras and you want to buy something like the RZ, but they're, you know, overpriced, and there's a reason for that. They're good, and a lot of people are using them, and, you know, there's a lot of hype. This camera is fairly good, to not say very good. It has a couple things that are a little strange, like minimum focus is not that long, like short and stuff, but they're pretty cool. And yeah, actually, can I focus on the screen? Yeah, I can focus on the screen. And the screen is basically my arm's length. So that's how far I can focus almost. But they're good. GS1, Bronica. Bronica is a brand that goes under the radar of most people. So I highly recommend them, and they make great gear. Their 645s are really good too, and they're really cheap. They usually go under 300 euros. Not as nice as a GS1. Let me see. Sorry, I'm trying to read. Mamiya's kind of amazing. I think they're like Canon in medium format. I'm not a Canon. I'm actually using a Canon camera right now. But I'm not a Canon expert, but I guess they're good. I want to upsize to 4x5. I want to try wet plate, positive photo paper, and contact printing. In your opinion, is 5x7 large enough, or should I go 8x10? Like 5x7 for contact printing and stuff like that is pretty nice. I think it's really good. And I think it's a good size. I mean, 8x10 is here, and you can see how big this is. My head's pretty big, but it's pretty huge. You need a table like that. Pedro, just come over to Bilbao. They made M42 mount SLRs and possibly their own mount. I don't know. I'm not an expert on Mamiya 35s for sure. Parat says RZ67 or Mamiya 7. I mean, to me, they're apple and oranges. They're totally different cameras. If you're going to walk around and do documentary style photography, photojournalism kind of photography and stuff like that, Mamiya 7, hands down. If you're going to do any kind of portraiture in quality, close-ups, studio work, macro, anything like that, Mamiya RZ, for sure. Like walking around with Mamiya RZ is possible, but you'll suffer. Yeah, I have a fax with an M42 with an open diaphragm mirror. I have no clue about what they're talking right now. Cheaper to start those processes with smaller format before moving to the big boy. I mean, 4x5 is also a good size for contact prints, that's for sure. Maxim says, is it worth buying Mamiya RZ2 instead of first version for portrait only? It's not worth it. Don't do it. You don't need to do it. I had the Pro 2, sold it because I should have not sold it. I bought the normal one, not even the Pro. As you can see, this one doesn't say Pro anywhere. It's all black. And it does 100% what the other one does pretty much. And the lenses are important. So try to get the W lenses, which have a little bit more space between apertures for like mid aperture. But they're not, you don't need to pay the Pro 2. Honestly, the Pro 2 backs are quite better because they have like a light seal that kind of like folds into each other. So there's no light seals, foamy stuff that can break, but it's not worth it. I wouldn't. Depends on what you're doing, and for much money, RZ, the most everything in mobile, basically what I was saying. Have you been shooting with the 11x14 recently? Evian, hi, just nice to see you. No, I have not. I really should be shooting the 11x14. It's up there. I should put it, next video, I'll put it here so you guys can have it. How's your Yashica T4? I've been loving mine, waiting for your review video. The T4 has been really great. It lives in my fanny pack, which has become my new standard for point and shoots. Is if it can fit in my fanny pack, it's good. And I'm using a fanny pack because I walk around with a notebook for ideas all the time, and film and headphones and cards. I don't use a wallet, so fanny pack it is. I'm loving it. The review will have to wait probably to the weather to get a little better because I want to shoot more with it, and the weather's been horrendous. And also the architecture series is waiting for the weather to get better too because it's been horrendous. But we have a location. It's going to be on this camera. So next architecture video will be shooting 8x10 on the CNR. Nico Gonzalez, me now. Hey. When will you do another killer large format video with a done? Exactly. Architecture series will be with this one. We will probably flying the drone again. And the drone is not mine. People were thinking, oh, you bought a drone. No, it's a friend, Inigo. If you're watching this, thank you. I would love to own one, but I can't do it all. So I probably will keep on asking a friend to come along. But yeah, it'll be 8x10 black and white with the CNR. I will probably use the back bellows to do movements. And right now I'm trying to find a ladder to use it properly. Give the Mamiya RB67 some love. Yeah, the Mamiya RB67 is also really good. I just never owned one, so I always forget about it. I'm going to finish this, guys, in like a couple of minutes because I should be picking up. But yeah, just so you guys know, if you have any last questions. I aspire to have a camera collection as cool as Nico's. Nico, thoughts on Olympus OM? Never owned or shot one. I never owned one. I've touched them a couple times. They're super small. The viewfinder is super bright, at least on the OM1. And I highly recommend them because everyone I know thinks they're awesome. So do go for the nicer ones. Don't go for the last ones like the OM10, where like cheaper versions made by Cosina and stuff, which doesn't mean they're bad, but they're not as good. But yeah, OMs are really good. And the glass is great. And Olympus cameras are super small, super nice. And you aspire to have a collection like this. This has been years of buying gear and teaching workshops and buying more gear. Every time I teach a workshop, I reinvest. So that's that. And I have a lot of friends that sell me gear. And honestly, if I bought everything they offered me, I'd have like 3 times more. This is where my savings are. This is my retirement plan. I've sent my T4 for PPP repairs for a CLA, so I'll be missing my to-go for a couple of weeks. Yeah, Piero's pretty nice. I've never used him, but I do know he repairs unrepairable cameras that other places don't do. Have you heard of anyone shooting dental x-ray film? Just got some free film from the local dentist. Yeah, a lot of people in the large format forum do x-ray film. You can go in there. There's like threads with hundreds of pages of an x-ray. Is the RB and RZ same size? I think they're like 90% the same in size. So yes, probably. Olympus OMs are pretty cool. Tiny SLRs with some cool lenses. OM is a great series. OMT is really nice. Yeah, the OM4T is like the hot boy. And Camera Rescue always has like, Camera Store always has like 5. And I want one, but I can't justify getting it. So yeah, guys, an hour, 15 minutes. I think that's pretty good birthday celebration. I have to say, for all 59 watching right now and everyone that's subscribed, watched, whatever you guys have done, for this channel in any way, big or small, even if it's a thumbs down. It always helps to know what people like and don't like. Oh, thank you so much. I'm going to call it a day. And there'll be more videos coming very soon. And if there's anything, actually, someone asked me about the Pentax 6x7 shift lens, and I'm trying to make a video on it for that person asking. So you guys just ask, and I'll do my best to, make and do an answer. Super film support still there, even though I'm working on it. And yeah, thank you guys. Thanks everyone. Thanks for the guys donating here. And yeah, I'll see you guys very soon in different videos and live streams coming up. Probably January 2020 will be the next live stream, and there'll be quite a few new things for that one. So yeah, guys, thanks. And 4 years. And like Nico said, highly recommend the Patreon and get backstage conversation with Nico and his followers. Yeah, we have a Patreon WhatsApp. So if you guys want to support through Patreon, Nico's there. A lot of guys are there, and they're super nice group. There's a good vibe. We do chat a lot sometimes, including myself at random hours. Mihnea doesn't sleep much, so he's always around. So yeah, guys, if you consider that, it's a pretty good way to support this channel and make me do more without having to worry. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. And thanks for the happy birthday.